What's up, 2K crew? Welcome to episode 58, and you have found the Turbo and 2K show, where we give our amateur opinions on professional sports, college sports, and even prep sports. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment so we can get a lot more conversation going. And if you're on the audio side, wherever you consume your audio podcast, go ahead and give us a subscription. And words are fucking hard today already. Give us a sub and a 5-star review, and if you leave a comment, we will mention you on the show as always. Well, 2Ks, what a fucking amazing time to have a sports talk podcast.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, and I've been waiting to wear this shirt. My amazing girlfriend Kristen got me the shirt for Christmas. I wanted to break it out when it became baseball season, and I finally just said fuck it, because baseball season might not actually be here. So wearing my new Red Sox shirt, which red really isn't my color, but it is what it is. It's a very nice shirt, and Kristen, I love it. Thank you. I already told you that, but I just wanted to reiterate it. And speaking of shirts, you have a bad... I love that shirt. Your Luca shirt.
Yeah. I've jumped. I mean, I think everybody knows it by now because I mention him. I think about every single time we're on the air. But
You are kind of a dick writer.
yes,
But when it's someone like that, I mean, just overall, the kid seems like he's very likable, and yeah, his play on the court, fuck. I mean, you really can't argue with that.
Yep.
So let's jump into the meat and potatoes. And now, if you've listened to or watched us in the past, I give a big shout out to the YouTube crew. Normally, we try to bring you, I mean, obviously our content isn't like filet mignon, but I'd say we're a good New York strip. This one might be like a round steak, because we had a great idea planned, and as you folks on YouTube can see, there's an empty seat right here that someone was supposed to be sitting in and helping us with this. So for those of you that know Christian, you might want to thank him for just throwing the whole episode completely off track. So Christian, I hope you and your bowels are very content with the way you left the show this week. And if it bombs, we're blaming it on you.
Yeah.
Just hands down.
I just hope that he was one of the fortunate people out there to be able to get to the grocery store soon enough to grab his toilet paper for going through this this debacle that he's in right now.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering if maybe it was drinking related, too many green beers last night. Maybe got in a little too deep in the cabbage.
Could be.
Because I know when I eat corned beef and cabbage and I love it, it doesn't love me. So maybe, you know what? Instead of making fun of him, let's give him a big shout out. Be like, hey, don't poop your pants, and have a great Sunday, Christian. Because, yeah, you've kind of put us in a weird spot. But you know what? We play hurt. We just rub some dirt on it, and we'll yes, we will. Now, the good part is that the NFL, obviously there's no games, of course, but there's stuff happening behind the scenes. It came out that it was, I believe the players had until midnight last night to vote on the collective bargaining agreement, and it came out that it passed. So we're going to have, I believe, 10 more years of the NFL and no labor strikes or anything, labor peace, I guess you could call it. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And one of the really cool parts about that is they obviously increase the wage of the not top tier players. So that's an obvious bonus. And hell, we're almost guaranteed 10 more years of football.
Yeah.
Which is never a bad thing. Now, what's the next shoe to drop there? I mean, we talked about some of it before we went live, but what is the next article of business that the NFL...
First one that caught my eye today was Ryan Tannehill signing his contract with the Tennessee Titans for $118 million. I know there was a lot of people kind of talking maybe there's a chance that Tom Brady was going to end up in Tennessee with Vrabel, and that's not where he's going to end up.
How many years was that for?
It's a $118 million deal.
4 years?
4 years, yep. 4 years.
Sounds about right. And I guess kind of the odd thing is that Ryan Tannehill has a job and Dak really doesn't.
No, not as of right now. No.
Which is kind of I think
it'll get taken care of. I mean, I'm not worried about that.
And like you brought up when we were discussing the new faces and new places when it comes to quarterbacks is Jerry Jones is a businessman, and the earlier he gets this done, the more he's going to save money. Mm-hmm. If they wait a year and do the franchise tag, you get other quarterbacks coming around, and I think they threw out an offer. It was like 35 a year or something like that. Mm-hmm. That was the last thing I saw. And now, granted, there's a lot of people like, oh, he's not worth it. Oh, he's not this. Well, it's the cycle. Mm-hmm. It's the cycle. Now, there's a lot of people that said that Matthew Stafford wasn't good enough to be the highest paid quarterback, but it was his turn. Eli Manning was the same way. I mean, Joe Flacco, you could go on and on and on. And these guys that were the top of the list really didn't really deserve it. Yeah. But it was just their time.
Yeah. Yep.
And once I think Patrick Mahomes is gonna just shatter.
Oh, absolutely.
Every record. And why would you want to compete with that? And I don't think there's any way Jerry Jones would pay Dak more than.
No. But I mean, in Dak's defense, I mean, people can say what they want to say, that he doesn't deserve it, but he's been I'm very hard pressed to find a quarterback or a player in the NFL that's been underpaid in his career as much as Dak. So for him to basically look them in the eye and say no, not good enough. Right. Kudos to him. Because every day, every season in the NFL is not guaranteed. Every week in the NFL for you is not guaranteed.
That's very true.
When you have your opportunity to get paid, get fucking paid, man.
And Russell Wilson was the same way. And any of the non-first round picks are going to be, quote unquote, underpaid if they perform. With that being said, I mean, you can kind of, the Seahawks have kind of been, they went through the whole transition with the Legion of Boom breaking up, which I think you couldn't pay all those guys. And you had those guys, you couldn't pay them, but if Russell Wilson was a first-round pick or number 1 overall pick, you wouldn't even have had those guys in there to begin with because you couldn't fit it under the cap. And obviously teams are doing this on purpose. And if they can get a good deal in the second and third round where they can save money towards the cap, they can pack the team with other talent. So I can see, obviously, Dak's been very underpaid and the Tannehill deal has $62 million fully guaranteed. So, but yeah, I think it's a good fit. I really do. We saw it in the playoffs. Granted, a lot of folks would say, well, that was basically Derrick Henry doing all the work.
Yeah, but he took over at the halfway point of the season basically, and they weren't even being talked about as a playoff team.
Right.
And then they went down the stretch of the season as with exception to maybe the Ravens and the 49ers, they were probably the next hottest team in the NFL. And Chiefs kind of got hot at that towards the end of the season also. But you're talking about a guy that started at the beginning of last season, didn't even know if he was going to have a job.
Yeah.
They bring him into Tennessee as the backup to back up Mariota, and now, I mean, today just getting fucking paid. Like these are the stories that I love to read and I love to see. Because I became a little bit of a Tannehill, fan last year just because of it, and to see him get paid, and then just for this to work out for him, and this team's not going to go away. They're going to be a very good team again this year. So,
and they got Vrabel at the helm, like you mentioned. I think he's one of the best upstart coaches in the league, and the proof is in the pudding. The proof is definitely in the pudding. I mean, the only thing he didn't do was win the Super Bowl. That was it. He took a team that most people didn't even think would. They just kind of wrote off as less than 500, and then not only beating the Patriots and the Ravens. That says a lot. That says a lot. And I think basically, when it came to the Chiefs, they just ran into a buzzsaw, and were just a little bit tired. I think they look a little sluggish. But when you're beating your brains out like that, I can see how that would take a toll on you for sure. So I believe you said the Bears had a big signing as well.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that one. I know that it was Eddie.
This will make Franklin really, really happy, I'm sure.
Well, that's where I saw it. I think it's Frank that posted it on Facebook. What I saw. Eddie Jackson agrees to 4-year, $58 million contract, making him the highest paid safety in history.
There you go, Bears fans. That's obviously good news. The only problem is he can't play quarterback. That's where that's where the issue comes in. That's where the issue comes in. Now, is there anything else on the docket there, Mr. 2Ks?
Well, we had the Jaguars to trade defensive end Calais Campbell to the Baltimore Ravens.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That defense is already sick. And now you're getting, one of the top defensive players in the league. But yeah, I tell you what, both Mr. Jackson and Mr. Tannehill, those contracts can buy a lot of toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
They really can.
Mm-hmm.
They really can. So if anyone's in need and you're in the area, I would go look them up because I'm sure they're very, very well stocked. Very well stocked. I think we ran out of news.
Yeah, I mean that's not like there's really any games.
No.
I think we kind of had the plan at this time last week, that we would have all the conference tournaments wrapping up today, Selection Sunday, like we would not have a problem coming up with material to talk about, and here we are now.
Yep.
Coronavirus has kind of
taken
over the, and I've had, I mean, obviously, up at the bar this weekend, and I played in the trivia night, so I got to talk to a lot of people, and I mean I don't mean to sound like I'm just not a very intelligent person, but I feel like part of my life is just like gone right now, and I don't even and it's only been like 3 days, and I don't know what to do with myself.
I'm already watching American Pickers.
Yeah,
that's how far.
That's where we're at.
I mean, we've got the one thing that's cool about ESPN is they've been running a lot of 30 for 30s.
Yeah,
which I don't think I've ever watched a 30 for 30 I didn't like. We're watching the one with Dennis Rodman on it right now. But yeah, I don't even want to watch SportsCenter because it's the same thing, fucking over and over and over and over again. And it's like, all right, well, the dead horse has been beaten, if you want to think about it that way.
Today, I mean, every channel I turn it to, it's the same thing. It's the coronavirus this. I mean, it's gotten to the point where I've just turned my TV off and I watch my reflection of me in the TV crying.
When we got up this morning, we flipped the TV on and watched Pioneer Woman. It's probably the least manly thing I've said on this podcast, but that chick can make some amazing food.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, the other night ago, while I was going to bed, I found myself watching about 2 hours of House Hunters.
I do like some. My mom and dad watch one that I really like with and then this is kind of relevant right now because I'm over spring break I'm gonna redo part of my house here, and my parents watch one and it's a big burly dude with a beard that my mom thinks looks exactly like my brother and his wife, and they make a lot of the shit. I like that. I like that, but there's only so much that I can take of that. And then it gets kind of boring. Like I said, I'm watching American Pickers, which, don't get me wrong, I like that show. But it's a Sunday. There should be, we should be balls deep in NCAA basketball, XFL.
We were going to get the first look at the bracket today.
Yeah. Today was Selection Sunday. And yesterday would have been I think the Big Ten would have been the last conference championship sealed. And it's kind of it's a bummer all the way around if you think about it. And probably another hot button issue would be I'm fully supporting the idea for the NCAA to give everyone another year of eligibility. You know what? I don't care what it takes. Just fucking do it. And what really stinks is you got to think, everyone thinks of the the basketball and football programs, but it's the baseball programs, the every other athlete that plays. If it's your senior year, granted, when you get baseball is kind of like the third one, but any of these other athletes, this is their last shot to do it. There really isn't a pro thing you can go do. So I do hope the NCAA gets their head out of their ass and just makes it happen. I don't care how it needs to happen. But then again, I would give them the option.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that are graduating and getting degrees and shit like that, and they're going to do their thing. That's fine. That's fine. But if you want to stay and play another year, let's do it.
Yep.
Let's do it. What was it? Wasn't it Case Keenum? He ended up playing like 6 or 7 years because of injuries and stuff. So if you can extend that, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. And I guess one of the things that I was kind of upset about as far as with the tournament was that they just came out and canceled it. It's just like, why not see where we're at in 30 days? And I mean, nobody knows how this is going to go down and when this is all going to come to an end. But what's the rush? I mean, what's the rush to just come out and cancel everything? And I mean, I'm no genius and when it comes to all this stuff, but I feel like maybe there's some little bit of overreacting going on, and instead of like, let's just take this a couple days at a time and go from there, instead of just making all these decisions that we're canceling everything. And I don't know.
On the other hand, though, if you look at it this way, the people making the decisions are the ones losing out on all the money.
Absolutely.
So if they're, granted, it sucks. We've already talked about that. I'd much rather be sitting here watching basketball or watching whatever, and I'm sure the players would rather be doing the same exact thing. That's what they do. They're especially the returning players that this is their second or third time through the tournament experience. This is what they've been doing for the past few years. So, well, enough. Let's take all of that and just bundle it up, throw it outside, because we don't want to be negative Nancy's here. Not going to be negative Nancy's. And probably the best part is we actually have probably a month's worth of content already planned, already ready to go. And the best part is we can do these regardless if sports comes back or not. So don't think that we're going anywhere. Don't think that we're gonna take a vacation or a hiatus. Fuck no.
Actually, I do have a vacation coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, probably the first of 9
for the
year.
First of 9 this year.
Yeah.
What did I get to last year? 7 or 8. So
I think it was
7.
Up
it. Yeah. I'm gonna try to up it at least one more.
Those are rookie numbers. We need to pump those up. But yeah, we have next week we have a great show planned. And the week after that, I think we could go one or two different ways, and then whatever we don't go with that week falls on the next week. And we do have in the beginnings we're gonna tickle the balls a little bit. We've got a pretty cool thing that we haven't put the finishing touches on it yet, but we have a great idea. We'll see where it goes. Unfortunately for the audio side, it's going to be a horrible episode. But the best part is you can go over to our YouTube channel and watch it there because it's going to be more, just to give you a hint, we're not going to be in the studio. Not going to tell you where we're going to be because we actually haven't figured it out yet. But just keep that in mind.
We have our idea. We have our idea for that we were supposed to do today that we're it's going to get pushed back.
Thanks, Christian.
Yep. Fucking asshole.
Douche. But one of the ideas I had is, what are some other things that we can do as sports fans since we can't watch sports? And obviously watching American Pickers really isn't doing it.
No.
And while we were trying to come up with some ideas, DraftKings came through.
Yes. And
because obviously they're not making any money because there's no sports to bet on. And to kind of piggyback that, for all of you that have bookies, you might want to give them a call just to make sure they're safe. They have toilet paper, they have food, because they are people too. So give your bookie a call. Just tell him what's up, and I guarantee he'll have some action on something that might help quench your gambling thirst. So what was the? I found this rather comical, but I guess it's really a thing. So what was the message that DraftKings sent you?
send me a message that they, well, obviously, since they don't have any sports games going on right now to gamble on, that you can gamble tonight on the Democratic debate. And I'll read off, I think there's 12 different questions on it. I'll read them off to you.
So they're basically like prop bets for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the first one is, does Bernie Sanders say millionaire or billionaire first?
I'm going to say billionaire.
Yes, I agree. Question number 2.
And this is free to enter, by the way,
yes,
correct?
Yep. Question number 2. Total tweets by Donald Trump during the debate.
Is there an over-under?
It's over 2.5 or under 2.5.
I'm going over all day.
Absolutely.
All day.
When the fuck has he ever been able to keep his mouth shut?
Right. Or his thumb shut.
Next.
And we are by all means not politically involved.
We're not even.
This is just side bets.
I just thought this was funny. That's the only reason why I'm reading this off. I'm not getting political one bit.
Well, it'd be real funny if you won the 10 G's. That'd be pretty awesome.
And I do not plan on watching this.
No, me either.
Next question, number 3. Will the first question be about coronavirus?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Probably 90% of the debate is going to be about that.
Yeah. Question number 4. Which candidate will be the first to be told time is up by a moderator?
It's got to be Biden.
I agree.
That dude can't form a sentence.
Yeah, and he's just one of those ones that just keeps on fucking rambling.
It's because he's old.
Mm-hmm. They're both old. That's
true. That's true.
Jesus.
See, you have to be 35 to run for president. That's the youngest you could be. There's not you have to be under 80.
Next question. Who will be the first to mention Hillary Clinton?
I'm going to go Bernie on that one.
Bernie?
Burn dog. Yep. Got to be Bernie on that one.
Next question. Who will be the first to mention President Trump?
That's got to be Biden.
Yeah. Next question. Who will be the first to mention coronavirus? It's going to be whoever gets
goes first. Yeah,
whoever gets it first.
Because there's there's not a topic that's more hot button right now.
Mm-hmm. Who will be the first to mention China?
We go Bernie on that one.
Bernie.
Yeah, and it's probably again whoever's going to go first.
Yep.
Because those you really can't talk about one without the other.
This one I love. Who will be the first to mention washing your hands? And you know that one of these jackasses is actually going to break down the way that you actually wash your hands now, because that's like the new thing now.
Yeah, washing your hands and buying toilet paper and hand sanitizer.
Fucking 28 years old, and people are now trying to correct me. Last night I get done taking a piss in the bathroom at the bar, and somebody's actually correcting me, on how you actually wash your hands. And also, I don't know if I've ever felt so uncomfortable in a bathroom right now.
I know it. I'm the same.
I feel like everybody's watching what am I going to wash his hands? Does he wash his hands with cold water or hot water?
Yeah.
Does he use soap, or does he just use water?
All I know is when we went to Myers yesterday, I'd use the bathroom, and I walked in, and of course, you open the door, you walk in, I do my thing. The guy in front of me was just getting done washing his hands, so I throw it under there. It's one of the automatic jammies. Throw it under there, and I'm like, Jay, the fuck? I mean, it is so damn hot. So I get the soap, do the thing, and I'm sitting here like what the? My hands were fucking red. And then, on top of that, of course, there's no paper towel. You got to use the blower that's hot as piss. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I got second-degree burns on my fucking hands. This is awesome. I think we need to turn down the water heater in this joint here, fellas. Because, just think of a young kid, that doesn't, the skin isn't as thick. I mean, goddamn.
Can't take any chances with at this moment.
Well, you can't contract a virus if your hands melt off. I mean, that pretty much is what they're going.
Next question: who will be the first to mention a travel ban? Biden. It's gonna be. To me, a lot of these questions to me are whoever one of these stupid fuckers gets to talk first. I said I wasn't going to get political.
Oops.
Who will be the first former candidate mentioned? And now your answers are Warren, Bloomberg, and then Klobuchar. Bouchard. I'm sure that people that have been following this probably know who I'm trying to say. And then also the Buttigieg or whatever the fuck his name is. Sorry people, I don't follow this shit, so I don't.
I think if you're gonna place money on that, you have to go with Bloomberg, just because someone's gonna mention how much he spent and then just dropped out. So, and yes, thank you, Michael Bloomberg, for not sending me any more mail or being on ads on YouTube or you couldn't even no matter what you did, you couldn't get away from it. And it's like, for the love of God, stop. I mean, we won't get too heavily involved in the politics, but is that all the...
Final question is, who will be the first to mention Russia?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We'll go Bernie on that, because that's a little off the wall, and that's kind of his style, or at least the way he looks. But yeah, that's so for you're gonna hear this on Tuesday, so it really doesn't make a big amount of difference. Just something I thought was rather weird and off the cuff. Now, one of the things another way to kind of quench your sports thirst, if you will, is there's a few YouTube channels you can check out. Obviously, the Turbo and 2K's YouTube channel, but I posted one of his videos on the 2K Crew group on Facebook. And if you want to check that out and don't know where it is, it's facebook.com/groups/2K Crew. And the gentleman, the guy who runs the channel, his name's Nick Hall, and he's actually from just north of Indianapolis, so he's quite local. Him and his buddies, Nick does this character called Coach Kent Murphy. And for anyone if you don't know who Coach Kent Murphy is, look up Nick Hall Comedy on YouTube, or he's on Instagram, he's on TikTok. Anything is, I want to say it's Coach Kent Murphy or the real Coach Kent Murphy. It's that's him all over the place, and he is absolutely hilarious. And I found him probably 2 or 3, probably 2 years ago now. There's a guy who does softball bat reviews, the BP Hero. And when I started back into softball, I had no idea what kind of bats were going and all this and that. And so I wanted to check him out just to see, kind of get up on what was going. And him and his buddies do a podcast, and they always kept mentioning this Coach Kent Murphy. So then they finally were like, all right, well, this is where they saw it on YouTube. So I went and checked it out, and they're hilarious. And they also do, him and one of the other guys do a podcast on there as well. And they take their stuff to a whole nother level, because they do it live, which, if Marcellus had better internet, that'd be really cool to try. But they go live on YouTube, and they'll have their phone. One of them will have it on like Instagram. One of them will have it on TikTok. So, and they answer questions. They talk about everything. They're huge movie buffs, but they're also obviously huge baseball fans and WrestleMania fans too, which I find rather odd. I didn't really realize that adults still were WrestleMania fans, but we'll leave that alone. But that's one of the, and he's got a shit ton of videos. He's been on YouTube for a long time. So yeah, do a deep dive into his YouTube channel. I think it'd be really, really awesome. There was, and Keith is actually in our 2K Crew group, and I've shared some of his videos on the group. Keith, I believe, is from Ohio, and I found him. He started out as a fitness YouTuber, and he made a quite viral, I think two or at least a couple videos on Planet Fitness, and kind of the reason, why Planet Fitness sucks, why people don't get results at Planet Fitness and stuff like that. Well, I kind of lost track of him for a little bit, and then he started doing cereal reviews, and his cereal reviews have blown the fuck up. He just posted something, um, something today, I believe, that he a year ago or 2 years ago hit 500,000 views on YouTube, and today he's been crushing it and has over 3 million, I think he said. So Keith, congratulations to you. I don't want to butcher your last name, but his YouTube channel is Keefrica, Keefreica, I believe. He actually started doing reactions to the XFL games. So Keith's kind of all over the place, but he's a really cool dude. Like I said, I've been following him for a couple years now. So give him a shout out. Give him a shout out. Tell him that the Turbo and 2K sent you, and drop a comment, a like, give him a sub. Hell, give him a sub. Now, other than that, I mean, this is going to be a precursor to what's coming, but I've been getting into a lot of baseball card channels, or card channels in general. One of them is Phil's Pulls, and it's Phil. What the hell's his last name? The pitcher.
Hughes?
Yeah, Phil Hughes. Had a total brain fart there. He does, and if you guys and girls don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, what he does is he buys cards, opens the packs, and does a little commentary with it, tells you, which ones to look for and which ones are hot. And to me, it's kind of cool. And what's really kind of cool is to see kind of an insider's view, because he was in the major leagues for a very long time. Hell, I didn't even know he retired. I just figured he just kind of fell off the face of the earth. But he opens a lot of old stuff, new stuff, expensive stuff, a lot of expensive stuff. I did not know there was like $3,500 boxes of fucking baseball cards and basketball cards. And I follow him, and then there's Striker Breaks is another one that I follow. Striker does a lot more like down to earth stuff, stuff that I would probably buy. And then our own Ben Fisher, B Fishin' 3, he has a little card breaking channel going on, and Ben does a lot of like older junk wax and does some new stuff too. And Ben's the one that kind of like kicked me in the ass and kind of like sat down like, all right, cool, this is actually legit, because I had thought cards had just gone away. And then couldn't be further from the truth. Could not be further from the truth. So those are some couple options, and I'm sure we've all went down the YouTube rabbit hole at one point or time.
Oh yeah.
When you start out, looking for, Phil's Pulls, and you end up figuring out, or there's a suggested video about 9 videos later, and you're watching Giraffes Mate. Like, how the fuck did I even get here? But yeah, it's one of those things. Once you follow one, then you're the suggested videos, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And what's kind of cool too is with these expensive boxes and such, they'll do like bidding. It's like 10 or $20 to get in on a break, and they'll randomize it, and they'll have 20 teams, and whatever cards that they open, let's say I get the Red Sox, you get the Tigers. Every Tiger card he sends you, every Red Sox card he sends me. So it's kind of an easier way to get into an expensive product like that, and you're not. Because, man, I would be so pissed if I spent $3,500 and didn't make my money back on the box at least. And I was watching an episode of Phil's Pulls today, and he did what was it, 2019 Top Sapphire, and I think there's 7 cards in a pack. No, there's more than that. There's 30 cards. They're $175 a box.
Wow.
And he bought a case, so there's 10 in a case. think the most expensive card, like the most valuable card, was $50. But then again, there's rookie cards that these kids haven't even, they've been up in spring training. They still have the high numbers, so they're not at all even close to being, I mean, there's your main rookies. A couple years ago was Acuna. I mean, his cards are astronomically expensive. But then again, there's some other kids that are still in that draft class the rookie class that haven't really even played yet. So that's where it gets fun. And just getting back to Phil, like, he knows he's not that far removed from playing. So he's like, hell, he was going through and he's like, oh, this guy, he's pick number 20 in the first round. I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? But when you're
around it, absolutely.
And towards the end of his career, he played for a lot of teams too. So, and what's really kind of cool too is when he'll open an older box and get his card. Get his card. So yeah, there's many different kinds, and there's if you really like stuff like that too. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, well, your Corona's getting me. I told you not to lick my face last night, but you insisted. But there's Facebook groups too that do this, and I got in one today. It was an Acuna, a Gary Sanchez, and fuck, I can't remember who the last guy was, but it was they had 10 numbers. You bought a number for I think this one was $550, so I bought number 4. And you PayPal the guy, and it's all there's only certain people in these groups, like the moderators, that can do these things. Not just everyone can do them, because otherwise you get people ripped off and everyone would be mad. And these are all graded cards. They were all 9s, I think. All 3 of them are 9s. And I haven't seen if I'm assuming I haven't won because I didn't get a message, but stuff like that where there's let's see what the name of this one is, because it's actually really cool. Because they do so many different types of cards. Not types, but like there's vintage, there's junk wax, there's brand new shit. If you wanna instead of gamble and trying to get a Zion, you can go buy one. But if you don't have $300 or $400, you can get in on one of these and test your luck, and kind of hopefully it pans out for you. Where is it? There it is. The name of the group is Wise Guys Breaks. And it was an Acuna, Sanchez, and Trout. So, let me see if anything here. Setting up live. All right. I'll have to get in here to see if I actually won. But yeah, I'm assuming he would message me like where to send it. But yeah, there's and I tell you what, since I started like even dipping my toe into this, it's like dragging me in. Like I went and bought. Speaking of doomsday preppers, like I said, we went to Myers. I burnt my hands, and before I did that, we walked around just because I hadn't been out to a store to see all the shit that's missing from the shelves and all this and that, and. Everyone's stocking up on paper towels and toilet paper and potatoes and bananas, and there's a whole bunch of weird and odd shit that was just gone. Hand sanitizer, obviously. But here's me in the toy section looking at baseball cards, and not only the baseball cards but the clearance baseball cards, and I actually found some cool shit, and then had a lot of cool hits out of my $28 purchase. Yeah. I bought that, hot dogs, ground beef, some pretzels,
what you need.
Yeah, necessities. Yeah.
I made a stop at Dollar General on Friday on my way home from work because I was just craving some pizza rolls. People were running around in there with toilet paper and just all kinds of shit that I'm just like, why? And here I am standing there calm as could be, just wanting to get my pizza rolls.
You're lucky they had pizza rolls left.
Yeah, well, there was a whole. If anybody else wants pizza rolls, at least, the last time I was in there, they had a whole pile of them. So there was no shortage at all on them. So, yeah. But no, I just, just people. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to eat my own. I don't want to eat my own words.
Right.
But I don't know. I just feel like some of the stuff that like people's, you know, they're the stuff that they think is a necessity that you have to have. I'm just like, all right, people, calm down.
Calm down. Take a breath. Right. Take a breath. And one of the things that Myers was out of that I thought was rather shocking was Zatarain rice. So, and like the rice-a-roni shit, obviously that, helps fend off coronavirus.
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you have any other ways, any suggestions for our viewers? I mean, obviously to pass the time, you can binge watch and listen all of our stuff, obviously. If you want to go check out our merch, all the links, descriptions, all the links to all of our social media, our Teespring store, always in every in the description of every video. So go ahead and check that out, because there's a lot of stuff like on Twitter that I just ramble off on, and we don't even get. It doesn't even make the show. That's not on Facebook. I don't put it in the Facebook group. I am making some pretty cool TikToks though.
There you go.
It's pretty legit.
I saw a post on our Facebook page earlier this week. I believe it was from Lon Med about with all the available time slots. With all these channels where the tournament was supposed to be. He mentioned something like, why don't we show all the the classics of each round. Of some of the best games of all time. And I thought that was a great idea. Like that just. I mean. I just want to. I don't really care if it's not like. Obviously, I wanted to watch this year's tournament, but just give me some of those. I look back at some of the greatest college basketball games that I've ever watched, and throughout this tournament. And I mean, me being a Michigan fan, the first one that comes to mind is Michigan-Kansas game, where Trey Burke just hits a three from the fucking parking lot, and to send that game into overtime. But there's been so many good games, and just to give people, I think there's a lot of people like us, sports fans, that are really craving just anything right now.
Yeah, and I think it'd be perfect because you could getting back to the Michigan, you can go their title runs. I mean, any big game or big just instant classic. Why not?
Oh, I saw a video today of a bunch of these college kids, and it was cracking me up because it reminded me of like something that I would have come up with when I was that age. But they had I think the last time that NCAA made a basketball video game was like back in I'm just gonna ballpark, I'll say 2006, 2007, somewhere around that time. And they had that game out on their PlayStation 2, and were simulating the games and just letting the computer play out.
Right.
But they had filled out their own brackets. They had all the matchups and everything, and they were betting on it, and obviously, drinking some adult beverages.
Of course.
And it looks like so much fun. I'm like, hey, I mean, kudos to anybody that can make something fun out of the situation that we're in right now. Yeah.
And I guarantee that video went viral because it probably took a shit ton of work.
Absolutely.
And it definitely sounds like something I would do for
these kids, I mean, not like you have class right now, so you have plenty of time to. You're cooped up in there.
Yes.
You have plenty of time to come up with brilliant ideas like this.
Yeah. There's that would be kind of cool, but I think too it would kind of bring to the forefront. You could replay a lot of classics that most of us might have only seen highlights of. Like the one that pops in my mind right away is the Jim Valvano game where he's running around the court. That's about the only part of that game I've ever seen. And something iconic as that, I mean, why not replay that? Why not? And I'm sure what someone's gonna say is, well, ESPN, CBS and Turner own the rights to the NCAA tournament. Would they just give that over to ESPN? Probably not. But CBS, you already have scheduled, slated times for these games. Why not fill it with something like that?
Yep.
And then, I mean, you could even go expand on that and bring some of the players in and have them, kind of watch it with you. And I mean, hell, there's a million different things you could do.
Yep.
Million different things you could do. And I think a lot of it is, well, I mean, you could even bring them in on on Skype or on something to where, if there is a travel ban or whatever, and even if there wasn't a travel ban, I don't think I'd be flying anywhere right now, regardless.
No.
But that's just me. And there's so many possibilities of what you can do instead of just sitting back on your hands. And for ESPN, you could do that with any. I mean, granted, they're filling everything with 30 for 30s, and I think SportsCenter's only on for like a couple hours a day or something like that, because I'm sure that's their facility. There's a lot of fucking people in there. And that might be one of the ones where they just said, nah, let's just shut this bitch down and kind of see where it goes from here. But yeah, I'm hoping that everything gets taken care of and calms down. A, so we can get sports back. B, so we stop freaking out. But C, so my softball season doesn't get canceled. Very selfishly, that's what I'm thinking of. Also waiting in the mail for my new hoodie that has a logo on it, a bearded gentleman's logo, and it says hitting bombs and smashing moms. Which I have a shirt like that. It's got my name and number on the back. Now I have a hoodie to match.
There you go.
So it's the little things. Well, that and the probably 4 different sports cards and the top loader plastic things to protect them. So I hopefully have a very good mail week this week.
And then for me, I have, for video game fans out there, MLB The Show comes out on Tuesday. I have it pre-ordered. It's set to be delivered to my house on Tuesday.
Very nice.
So
who's on the cover this year?
Javi Baez.
Nice. Which well-deserved. Well-deserved. Like I said, I'm a huge Javi fan. I wish there were more players that played with the enthusiasm and, just brashness, I guess you could call it, and just rake. Just rake. And
fuck the Cubs, though.
Yeah, and yes, speaking of Cubs, ladies and gentlemen, when I was making my top 10 catchers, I mistakenly, and I know this is a sin for Chicago. But I said Wilson Contreras was from the south side when actually he's from the north side.
Yeah, they both suck, so.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Frank did not call me out on that. But Mr. Jeffrey Burton was kind enough to send me a message and was very upset at me.
Oh.
So
who's he a fan of?
I think he's a Cubs fan.
Is he a Cubs fan?
Yeah, I'm almost positive. But he set me straight. I apologized. And that was two weeks in a row because I goofed up the Zach Wheeler mention in the pitchers one. So yes, I'm gonna get my shit tighter. I need to get focused and stop giving you guys shoddy content because you don't deserve shoddy content. You deserve good content. But needless to say, it was the details I got wrong. The players were actually in the order that I wanted.
Yep.
So that's the important part.
That's all that fucking matters.
That's the important part. But yeah, that's especially another good thing is get on those top 10 videos. Drop your top 10. Let's have a conversation. There's aside from Jeff being very, very upset at me. and Jeff, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, let's hope this doesn't drag out. You've got golf. Are you doing a golf league or?
That's still in the works. I'm still. I keep telling people that I am, but then my wife keeps on telling people that I'm not. So
which means you're not.
Yeah. So we'll see.
This was supposed to be the first week of baseball practice for you guys too, wasn't it?
Yep.
So that was. Did you guys get a weekend or?
Up until they put the ban on, so Monday through Thursday, yes, and then Friday nothing at all. And the way it sounds right now, probably it's over. I mean, unless something really drastically changes. I mean, it's not, and then even when these kids do get back in school, it's not like you can just start firing away at games right away. So, and you're going to be playing these games into the summer, and I don't know. I don't know. a lot of question marks with a lot of stuff. I mean, and there's a lot of question marks with stuff that's a lot more important than spring sports. When it comes to schools. So, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if going to school during the summertime is an option. I don't know how that works. I don't know how it works with kids that are set to graduate this year. It's maybe kids that are not set to graduate this year, and
I remember when I was a senior, they set your graduation date, and it was always we kind of got shafted because we had to go. We didn't have any snow days. We had 1 2-hour delay, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same way with graduation because the date's already set. Well, whether they allow us to or allow the kids to actually walk or anything like that's a different story. But I would assume that for the seniors, that even if, and I don't know if school's going to go longer. I've heard it hasn't. I heard it's whatever day it's going to end is going to end.
Yeah.
So even if they were to extend it and they had to go extra, like snow days, I don't think the seniors wouldn't care. They would be like, fuck yes. So, yeah, the seniors out there, man, a month of spring break.
Yeah.
A month of spring. The only downside is, if you did have money put away, to go to like, any place warm, like seniors in high school do, maybe those travel plans probably might not be such a.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was talking to Chell about it, and Mike. So, what do you? I mean, are we still going to Florida? And she, oh fuck yeah, we're going to Florida. I mean, like so. Nothing as far as I'm like, well, we don't know if we are now. There could be a time where they basically don't let you leave the state of Michigan. I mean, you might not be able to leave your home. So, I don't know. I hope that a month from now, I think my daughter asked Alexa, Amazon Alexa today how many days it was until we left, and 18 days. So we have 18 days to get some shit figured out, or. And as we stand right now, if we're in the same situation as what we are in right now, I mean, obviously I can't tell people what to do or how to do it, but I know for my house, we're fucking loading up and going. Like,
and then, just to kind of, it's not like you're going to a huge place like Disney or something like that, where obviously Disney's closed. So that if you did have tickets or got your wristbands or whatever the hell you do to go to Disney, that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
that kind of sucks.
I'll tell you, the people that the ones that I feel for so bad right now are stay at home moms, stay at home dads right now, and you have these kids that are. I mean, we haven't even made it through the fucking weekend, and I think when I leave here, I'm gonna stop at the gas station and grab a bottle of wine so that Chell can get through tonight,
right?
And then probably. Because I have the easy job. I get to get up every morning and go to work. She's the one that has to stay at home in this, and she's the the real MVP. I got the easy. I have the easy way out. So I feel like not now when I get out of work, like I think it might be mandatory that I grab a bottle of wine, or I'm not going to be allowed to step foot in the door when I get home.
Well,
so
I'm sure Chelsea would never tell you not to grab a bottle of wine. I mean that. I really don't see her being like, you know what, honey?
No,
not
we're
tonight.
Not
tonight.
No,
not
yeah.
tonight.
No, that's a pretty safe gift. She'll never be upset with that.
Probably the only thing that she would say if she was actually mad was only one. Only one? Are you kidding me? But yeah, and then to kind of take that a step further is the people that don't have someone staying at home. What the fuck you do? I would assume that one of the kids are in school, so you're not paying daycare, and I'm sure daycares are just over fucking flowing.
Oh yeah, and I mean if they're shutting down schools, I gotta think that they're gonna shut down daycares. I mean, and I know that for a lot of people that's I mean, you live for that. I mean, like you have to have that. So, but I think at the end of the day, I mean these people's safety and especially children's safety, it's gonna come first. And as far as I understand that a lot of people have to work. I'm one of them people. I have to work every day, but it could come down to a point where you can't go to work. So
fortunately for
hopefully it doesn't get to that.
Fortunately for me, I have the option that I could work from home, and so if shit really does hit the fan, especially being in sales where I can make some phone calls and probably probably be a good time to do that because everyone's gonna be fucking home.
Yep.
So, yeah, like I said, I'm one of the fortunate ones. Kristen works from home too, so. But she works from home, and now she has all the kids at home for 4 weeks instead of one. And so, yeah, that God bless her.
Yeah.
God bless her, because when she always tells me that I'm the patient one. I don't think I could be locked in a house for a whole week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, especially when it's like you said, you haven't made it through the weekend yet, and your kids, I'm sure, bouncing off the wall, and
that's all they ever do. I mean, there's no downtime until they actually just fall asleep, pass out at whatever time at night. There's no
chill.
No, ever.
And if they are, and if it's one of those, if it's too quiet, there's something going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like they're pouring milk all over your couch.
Yeah. Yesterday, Jill and I slept out for about maybe a 35, 40-minute nap. When I fell asleep, Nolan was right in between us, and he was asleep also. So I was like, okay, I can trust the girls. They're normally, normal, but Nolan, we can't allow it, And I just happened to doze off, and 30 minutes later, I open my eyes, and I look over, and Nolan's not there.
Fuck.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. And Jell's sleeping. I'm like, oh, shit. So I get up, and it's completely quiet. And I walk out in the living room, and Nolan has dumped an entire box of Fruity Pebbles in the living room floor. And then he proceeded to put his shoes on and stomp them all up. So
now your house is covered in glitter.
Yes.
And now Fruity Pebble flakes.
Which I kind of like. I mean, we got it all vacuumed up, but when you walk in the house, there's this little smell that you get of Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of liking it. I got home from the bar last night, and I was like, man, it smells like Fruity Pebbles in here.
Kind of want a bowl, but we don't have any. No. It's all stomped on the floor.
It's all inside the vacuum cleaner.
All right, 2K crew, we're inching close to that hour mark, and I just want to let you guys know that we're not going anywhere. We've got content coming for you, so hopefully we can kind of shed some light on a rather darker situation and give you some humor, drop a little knowledge on you, and I tell you what, if you find us boring, then just put us on during the day while your kids are home, and fuck, they'll be asleep in no time. So we're helping you out in more ways than one. 2K crew, or Mr. 2Ks, any final thoughts?
Nope.
All right. Well, we will see you again. This week we're not going to do any YouTube only, so the audio crew, you get the whole episode. But yeah, just give us likes, comment on the group, post shit. Let's help each other through this, because we're all sports fans, and I guess the bottom line is that's sports fans help sports fans, and let's get some debates going. I mean, let's get some shit talk. I mean, everyone seems a little too PC in the group. Someone needs to spice it up a little bit. So I might just drop a tasty nugget here and there to kind of get the blood flowing, get everyone's thumbs furiously typing away, but yeah, just we're not going anywhere just because there's no sports. We've got you covered. So 2K crew will leave you with this. Jim Rome, we're coming for you, and you know it. So you better listen up.